Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. You know, we all love our dogs. We want to keep them as healthy as possible, especially in their twilight years, right? Our next guest, Dr. Mary Gardner, is a veterinarian and a senior pet healthcare expert. She wrote a book. It's called It's Never Long Enough, a practical guide to caring for your geriatric dog. She joins us now. Dr. Gardner, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us, what age becomes is a dog considered geriatric? And is it kind of different between breeds?
It does, actually, and because we always know that smaller dogs live longer than larger dogs, right? And so the big difference is really in how fragile they are and how they are able to get around their environment. So we all know that senior dogs actually start around 8 years old, give or take. It depends again on the breed, right? So you have a Great Dane, it's more like 6 or 7. But when they start to hit those double digits and they can't walk as well, they have cognitive dysfunction. They're not eating as much. They're, could be, slipping on floors. That's when they're geriatric. So it's not how old you are, it's how you are.
I mean, it really pushes to the point we got to make sure we keep them healthy because they could live longer than maybe others. That makes a lot of sense. You put together a list of some of the most important things you have to keep in mind when you do have an older dog. I want to start off with the first one, and that is safety. Why is that so important?
Yeah, because when they start losing their vision and their hearing, and they also have this cognitive dysfunction, so doggy Alzheimer's, they can get stuck in places. They could kids don't understand when when the pet might have some pain, so they may be petting them and they're painful. So we have to keep them safe, making sure that areas that they may get struggle with, so pools, under dining room tables, block all those off. Make sure they're not jumping up and down places that is probably back in their younger years they could do. So keep them safe.
All right. Enrichment is your next tip. And I guess just giving them that care that they need. Explain that.
Dogs starting at the age of 7 will start to have cognitive decline, so that doggy Alzheimer's.
Okay.
And really, by the time they're double digits, a large percentage of dogs have this. And so it could be staring off into space. It could be forgetting who you are. And they just start to just act a little different. A big thing is also panting and pacing at night. And so to keep the brain active is so important. With sniffing games, 1/3 of the dog's brain is dedicated to scent. So to scenting. So having all those scenting games. If you ever go to a nursing home, they want to do canasta and crossword puzzles and things like that, right? So keeping their brains active will keep them healthy longer.
All right. I want to put number 3 and 4 together. Medical care and caregiving. Explain why those two are very important.
So medical care is actually seeing your veterinarian. 50% of pets in the United States who are euthanized out of veterinary clinic have not been to their doctor in over a year. That's like you and I not going to our doctors in our 70s and 80s. So there's so much we can do. And people are like, oh, he's just old, he's slowing down. No, we could do so much for them. And age doesn't have to be, debilitating. There's a lot of medications and products, harnesses, things like that we can recommend. And so my goal is that all pets get to see their doctor in their twilight years. Now, you mentioned caregiving, which is my 4th one. That's the caregiver at home. It is a lot of work dealing with a geriatric pet. And I just want those people who are dealing with it it's okay to be frustrated. A time is an issue. You're going to, incontinence, and you're picking up pee and poop all day long. It's a lot. And so there's a lot of great resources out there for families that are dealing with geriatric pets and different ailments.
You say enjoy the time. Is that for the pet or for yourself or for both?
It's actually for both. It's, I don't want dealing with your geriatric pet to be such a burden. And we can provide so much things that tips and tricks that can help you to enjoy that time. But there comes a point where there are more days behind us than in front of us.
All right. And your quality of life has to be important too, which is your final tip.
Yeah. So quality of life. There's a lot of assessment tools that I have available because every pet is different. And the big question is, how will I know it's time to say goodbye?
Yeah.
And so that's a big conversation to have with your veterinarian.
All right. You have so much more information. Where can folks go if they want to find out more?
If they just go to my website, drmarygardner.com or graymuzzlevet.com as well. That's my other website. Has a ton of information.
All right. Thank you so much. You taught this dog some old tricks too. New tricks, rather, should I say. Thank you for joining us, Doctor.